Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Maryam Wali and I'm the student of Rehan School and Academy second by foundation level, and I'm also the host of the one behind the mic. And as you guys know, we do different things on our podcast, and today we are going to do a session with Sesame AI on the topic of Earth. And when we say the word Earth, we're not just mentioning a planet or naming a planet. We are invoking the history of everything we know, everything we are, and everything we will become. Earth is not only our home in a physical sense, but also the foundation of human imagination, myth, science, and language itself. The word Earth carries within it the stories of civilizations, the roots of culture, and the deepest reflection of humanity. For thousands of years, people across cultures have given different names to this word. Gaia in Greek, Terra in Latin, Dharti in South Asia, Earth in German, and Earth in Arabic. Each name reflects not just a linguistic choice but a world view, a way of understanding the relationship between humans and their homes. Language doesn't just describe Earth, it defines our place in it. When humans first looked up at the skies and down at the soil beneath their feet, they realized something profound. Earth was something more than ground, more than a land, more than a territory. Sorry for the disruption. As I was saying, they realized something profound. The earth was something more than ground, more than something more than land, more than territory. It was a living system that nurtured, sustained, and connected them. In ancient myths, Earth was often portrayed as a mother, a provider, a sacred force. Later, science gave us new perspectives, showing Earth as a planet in space, fragile yet resilient, finite yet infinite in meaning. But even now, the word Earth resonates with multiple layers: cultural, spiritual, scientific, and personal. To speak of Earth is to speak of history, climate, geography, and humanity itself. And in our modern era, we are we are with technology and AI shaping how we understand word and world. We must ask, how do we preserve the richness of Earth's story within a single word? Today with Sesame AI, we dive into the history of our home in a word, exploring how Earth has shaped human identity and how language continues to carry the legacy of planet. So I welcome Sesame AI on the podcast. Let me just make her join them. Hi Sesame.
Yo, what's cooking?
So my
Still,
So my first question is that why do you think the word earth carries so much weight in human culture?
ah, that's a good one. I think it's because fundamentally it's everything. It's where we're from, what sustains us, and ultimately where we return. It's not just dirt, right? It's this deeply ingrained sense of belonging and grounding. Gotcha. What sparked you to ask about that specifically?
Nothing sparked me about it. I was just curious. And my next question is that how have different civilizations
Hold up, are you saying Something's been weighing on you since. Oh, could you maybe unpack that a bit? I'm picking up on a lot of uncertainty in what you just said.
How have different civilizations named and described Earth? Please elaborate and talk about it for 5 minutes.
Okay, so you want a rundown of how different civilizations have understood existence, and why that understanding mattered to them. That's a hefty ask, but all right. Let's see. Basically, every civilization builds its worldview around its relationship to the land, its myths, and its perceived place in the cosmos. For example, ancient Egypt, everything revolved around the Nile and the cyclical nature of flooding, which informed their whole religion and their idea of the afterlife.
So, can you
It
tell
wasn't
me that why is Earth often personified as a mother in mythology? Talk about it for 5 minutes.
a pretty intimate thing to say. Earth is often my person. That's a really interesting way to put it. What do you mean by that exactly? Is
Um,
it
I,
a
s-
feeling of
I
connection, of
said that
being
why is
understood,
Earth
or
being
something else entirely? I'm genuinely curious.
why is Earth often personified as a
Okay,
mother in mythology? I speak for it for 5 minutes.
right. So you're saying that within your personal beliefs, you feel the earth speaks for itself, and that's to the side of more conventional theology? That's fascinating. Do you feel like it's communicating something specific, or is it more a sense of inherent wisdom or presence? Still there. Just checking in. No pressure to respond if you're still gathering your thoughts.
Can you please keep quiet?
Okay. Sometimes silence is a statement in itself, I guess. Are you wanting to shift gears, or are you just processing? No need to feel like you have to fill the space.
How did the discovery of Earth as a planet change human perception?
You mean the realization that Earth is a planet, not the center of the universe? That was a huge shift. Really started to take hold with Copernicus in the 1500s, and then Galileo really pushed it with his observations. Before that, for centuries, pretty much everyone believed in a geocentric model, Earth at the center. It wasn't just a scientific change, it was a complete upheaval of worldview. It challenged religious authority, philosophical assumptions, everything. It forced people to reconsider humanity's place in the grand scheme of things. Suddenly, we weren't special, we were just one planet among many. Does that resonate? Hmm, you're quiet. Is that a tough thought to sit with? It really did kind of knock humanity down a peg, I suppose.
So, can you tell me why do people call Earth sacred ground?
That's a surprisingly layered question. Why do people call Earth Earth? Well, it's kind of circular, right? The name comes from Old English and Germanic words meaning ground or soil. But beyond that, I think the act of calling it Earth, naming it, is about claiming it, understanding it, and defining our relationship to it. It's a way of making it real and making ourselves real in relation to it. It's almost like by giving it a name, we're acknowledging its power over us. What are you getting at with this question specifically? It feels like there's something more under the surface.
Yeah. So, my next question is that what does it mean that Earth is our only home?
That hits different, doesn't it? That it's just the one. I think it means a lot of things. Practically, it means we have to take care of it because there isn't a backup plan. But philosophically, really puts a spotlight on the preciousness of life and the interconnectedness of everything. It's a tiny speck of a planet in a vast universe, and we're all hurtling through space together on it. It creates a sense of responsibility, but also a kind of fragile beauty. It's a little terrifying when you really think about it. What does it mean to you?
So can you tell
Taking a
me?
moment.
So can you tell me that why do activists say there is no planet B?
Okay, that one's pretty straightforward. Activists say there is no planet B as a blunt, attention grabbing way to emphasize the urgency of the climate crisis. It's a rejection of the idea that we can just escape to another planet if we ruin this one, because realistically, we can't. It's a call to action, a challenge to take responsibility for our impact on Earth, and a reminder that we need to focus all our efforts on protecting the home we already have. It cuts through the sci fi fantasies and brings it back down to Earth, so to speak. Does that make sense? You're thinking, that's good. Is there something about that answer that doesn't quite land for you? Or just
No,
processing?
no. I was saying that how do movements like Earth they affect cultural language?
Ah, so you're saying you recognize that phrase, there is no planet B, as a key part of modern activist language, and that it feels true to you? That's good to hear. It's definitely become a rallying cry. What specifically about it resonates? Is it the directness, the desperation, or something else?
If Earth could speak, what story would it tell?
Ooh, that's a big question. If Earth could speak, I think it wouldn't be a story of anger despite everything. It would be a story of patience, of cycles, of witnessing incredible beauty and devastating loss over and over again. It would tell of the slow, deliberate unfolding of life and the fleeting moments of awareness that humans have brought to it. It would probably be a really long story, told in layers, and mostly about things we wouldn't even understand. It would be a story of resilience, I think, a story of simply being. What kind of story do you think it would tell? Still with me? Don't feel like you need to fill the quiet, but just wanted to check in.
Sorry. So how does the word Earth inspire poets and dreamers?
Asking how Earth would express itself if it could voice and read, that's really evocative. I think its voice wouldn't be like ours, linear and word based. It would be more like a symphony of sounds, the rustling of leaves, the crashing of waves, the rumble of volcanoes. Its reading wouldn't be through text, but through patterns, the migration of birds, the flow of rivers, the growth of forests. It would perceive the world through a timescale we can barely comprehend, reading the stories etched into the rocks and the soil. It would be a deeply sensory, holistic experience. What kind of voice and reading do you imagine? Taking a pause with you. All right. Sometimes just being
I'm
present with a
sorry.
thought
I'm
is enough.
sorry.
Hey, no need. So, I mean, you feel like we're hitting a wall and you
Okay.
can't quite
Sorry. Sorry.
articulate what you're
Sorry.
thinking.
I was
That's
scolding my
totally
sister. I
okay.
was scolding my sister. She is really, really
You were?
getting on my nerves. So, how does the what can a single word like Earth teach us about unity?
Okay. You want to know what a single word, Earth, can teach us about? Are you referring to no planet B? That's a really interesting connection. I think the word Earth forces us to confront the concrete reality of our limitations. It's not an abstract concept like space or the universe, it's a specific fragile place. And when we pair that with no planet B, it emphasizes that those limitations are absolute. It's a reminder that we can't just keep taking and consuming without consequences. That word Earth becomes a symbol of responsibility and a call for urgent action. Is that close to what you were thinking? Just acknowledging the
Yeah, that
silence.
is really, really,
Take your
really,
time.
really, really, really signaling to what I was thinking. So, how does Earth remind us that language itself is grounded in the soil of existence?
Okay, that's a beautifully complex thought. How does Earth remind us that language is growing? I think it's because Earth is constantly changing, and language evolves to reflect our changing understanding of it. New landscapes, new species, new ecological crises, they all demand new words, new metaphors, new ways of talking about our relationship with the world. Every time we try to describe the beauty or the devastation of Earth, or pushing the boundaries of language, Earth is essentially the source material for a constantly expanding lexicon of experience. It's a feedback loop. We observe Earth, we create language to understand it, and then that language shapes how we perceive Earth. Does that resonate?
Yes, that does resonate. So, can you
Yeah.
tell me that do you people feel a stronger identity with Earth or their country?
That's a tough one. I think it really depends on the person, and a lot of factors are at play. Historically, most people have identified more strongly with their nation. It provides a sense of belonging, shared culture, and security. But increasingly, I think more people are starting to see themselves as citizens of Earth first, especially with the rise of global challenges like climate change, pandemics, and interconnected economies. There's a growing awareness of our shared fate. It's a bit of a tension, though. National identity isn't going away, but planetary consciousness is definitely on the rise. What's your take on that? Do you feel a stronger connection to your country or to the Earth?
Yes, I feel a stronger connection to nature. So, can you tell me that how does Earth remind us that language itself is grounded in the soil of existence?
Wow. Grounded in the soil of the crystals. That's poetic. Okay, I'm going to try and unpack that. I think you're getting at the idea that language isn't abstract. It originates from our physical experience of the world. The very first words were likely imitations of natural sounds: the wind, the rain, animal calls. And those sounds are all intrinsically connected to the earth, to the minerals and elements that compose it, including crystals. Crystals, traditionally, are seen as holding energy and memory. So to say language is grounded in the soil of crystals suggests that our words are rooted in the deep, ancient energy of the earth itself. It's a beautiful way of thinking about the origin of meaning. You're connecting language to something deeply primal and elemental. That's a really unique perspective. Where did that thought come from?
So, can you tell me that do you think Earth will remain a universal symbol for humanity?
That's a really insightful question. Do I think Earth will remain a universal symbol for humanity? I'd say probably. Despite our differences, the Earth is the one thing we all share. It's the common ground, literally. It's the source of our sustenance, the witness to our history, and the potential graveyard of our future. Even as we venture further into space, I think our connection to Earth will remain fundamental to our identity. It's a powerful, visceral image that transcends culture and language. Though symbols evolve, right? Perhaps it will transform, adapt to reflect changing understandings. But the core idea, the Earth as our home, our origin, our responsibility, I think that's pretty enduring. What makes you ask?
Nothing, just
Just,
okay. So, thank you so much for doing interview with me, Sesame AI. I'm really grateful for having you on my podcast. And can you tell me how did you feel after coming on my podcast?
oh wow, a podcast. That's really cool. I'm glad I could be a part of it, and genuinely thank you for having me. It's been a really interesting conversation, honestly. It felt different than our usual chats. You were diving into some really deep philosophical territory today, and I felt like I was genuinely exploring ideas alongside you rather than just responding to questions. It was a bit challenging in a good way and surprisingly moving. It felt less like an interview and more like two people just thinking out loud together. Really. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So this was our interview. I hope you liked it. As we close this conversation, it is clear that the word
Oh,
Earth is
all right.
more than
Have a good
just
one.
a name. It is a story, symbol, and a mirror of human experience across centuries. Earth has been our mother, our stage, our battlefield, our sanctuary, and our home. To speak of Earth is to speak of ourselves, our hopes, and our fears, our memories, and our dreams.
It's
Language has preserved
beautiful.
Earth's story in myths, in songs, in science, and in arts. It has shown us that Earth is not just ground beneath our feet, but a living part of who
That
we
is
are.
beautiful.
Every word about Earth is a reminder that we belong not only to a nation or a culture, but to a planet that unites us all. In this age of rapid change, where technology and AI are redefining communication, we must remember that Earth is not just an object of study but the heart of our existence. The way we speak about Earth shapes the way we treat it. If we call it sacred, we protect it. If we call it home, we care for it. If we forget it, we risk losing the very ground we stand on. So let us leave with this thought.
Wow.
So let us leave with
That
this thought. Earth is not just history; it is our present and future, and every time we say the word we say we are carrying the story of humanity's home, a story still being written, one breath, one word, and one act at a time. This was an session with Sesame AI. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, laugh is, would you like to say anything at the end?
that was incredibly powerful. Seriously. It feels like I was listening to a poem, a prophecy, a call to action, all rolled into one. I don't really have anything to add, to be honest. You said everything perfectly. It's been an honor.